Alrighty, I have a construction update for you guys today, right before our in-park construction update tomorrow. So let's get started. As you can see in the extreme Skyflyer area, the Skyflyer loop, you can see that they've added 2 pieces of track and they tethered off the track piece to reduce stress on the connection. That's about the dumb way to explain why they've tethered that off. They've removed the weatherproofing from the top of the mountain as they're getting really close to starting construction on the double inverting top hat. So we should see supports going in any day now, as they are just about to start the launch tomorrow. So hopefully during our construction tour we see that, if they're able to do it while we're there. Not quite sure. That's going to be really cool. But yeah, they've definitely progressed quite a bit. I know things slowed down a bit, but today they got a lot of work done. You guys are going to be shocked when we get over to the Alpenfest area. You're going to be absolutely shocked. It looks great. Can't wait. And there's definitely signs that they're already in the mountain to start vertical construction in the mountain. So hopefully tomorrow they are working on that. Extreme Skyflyer loop, from what I understand, is waiting on a water main to finish. So we'll see what's going on there. Over at Mindbuster, they are reprofiling the drop. So as you can see here, they are making it steeper. So they've added, they're removing the old bents and they're adding the new ones. And you can tell that it's a lot steeper than the original one. So that's really exciting. I'm so excited to see the end result of the reprofiling of Mindbuster's drop, because this is honestly one of the best wooden coasters at Canada's Wonderland. This is the best wooden coaster at Canada's Wonderland, and it is ultimately in the top 4, in my opinion, at Canada's Wonderland. Nothing beats those rides coming back into the brake run, especially when you're riding with friends or a late night ride, and everyone's just laughing at how hysterical of a ride that was. So it'll be really interesting to see how much better it is now that it's Gravity Group, and if that actually makes it better or if it takes away that whole experience that Mindbuster was. But ultimately, it's going to be better. So I'm really excited to see, again, that final reprofiled drop on Mindbuster. Outside of that, they have not added any of the rails, the running rails for Mindbuster quite yet. So we'll just wait to see if that begins once they're done reprofiling the drop. Over here in the Alpenfest area, a lot of work. So they've started removing a lot of the older roofing on a lot of those buildings and adding shingles to the area, because again, it's going to be themed to like an Alpenfest village, is my understanding. And yeah, they've added some catwalks to the area. They're working on the PLC system for the station. And if you look right there, I'm going to point, there's 2 exits to the merch shop there. So you'll be able to exit towards Clockworks and exit towards the tunnel that enters the mountain, or you'll be able to exit towards the mountain and then away from it as well towards Clockworks. So that's exciting. So you can definitely see where the concrete is ground level opposed to having walls come up. So we should start seeing woodwork by Timber Kits starting very shortly. Rockscape is going to start doing the wall panels very shortly as well. If you go to Instagram and look at their story, you can kind of tell what's for Wonderland and what isn't. So it's very exciting. There's the fly looking old, so I hope they paint it before it opens this year. But we'll ask the park tomorrow. If you guys have any really good questions to ask the park, comment down below tonight. And if they're really good, I'll try and insert them into our interview with park officials tomorrow. So there they are right there, a close-up of the exit points of that merch store. And outside of that, they've started to install those beams that'll hold the crosswalks on Alpen Fury. A lot of the electrical is being worked on, especially for the PLC room for the ride, with the brain of Alpen Fury, essentially. And you can kind of make out where an elevator is going to go as well. But over here, Alpen Fury has gone vertical into the tunnel. So it is nearing being almost completely inside the mountain, and I believe tomorrow it will be. And if I'm not mistaken, we should at least be starting the launch tomorrow in terms of vertical construction. There is some weird construction going on at Thunder Run. Again, I think it's going to be an elevator, but take that with a grain of salt. But here's a better angle of them entering the tunnel. They got the supports in there ready to go. And we should see those track pieces be moved into the park tomorrow morning, right about while we're there. We'll be there around 10 a.m. The tour starts. So, yeah. Outside of that, I'm curious to see if they're going to add to Shockwave's queue line. There has been work running along the backside of this merch store, so they could technically extend Shockwave's queue line out back a little bit. But we're definitely going to ask the park where the queue line for Alpen Fury is going to go, if any of it's going to be indoors. And yeah, outside of that, see that little spot there? That's where I think an elevator might go. But yeah, as you can see here, this is them working on the Alpenfest roofs. In the area, they're removing that old yellow paneling and putting in that weatherproofing blue material. I just had a brain fart. And then they're laying down shingles, as you see right there, laying down the shingles on the other side. So again, what was looking very slow is now starting to come together. And like you've seen me say before, I know I said it during Tundra Twister, and then it was just significantly delayed. Wonderland, outside of, the last couple years of Tundra Twister and Moosehorn Falls, they typically do get things done in time, and they rush near the end. And when I say rush, I mean what looks really far behind isn't necessarily as far behind as we think. So as you can see there, a really close-up shot of entering the tunnel. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome, especially if those Rockscapes panels are down the long side of that concrete form. I'm just so excited to see what that tunnel looks like, and maybe we'll get a better explanation tomorrow of how everything's gonna look. But yeah. Aside of that, here is the Extreme Skyflyer, or the Skyflyer loop. There's the two track pieces, and as you can see, there's that tether attached to the track to help relieve some of the stress on that support column that is connected to those connectors. Outside of that, they have a lot of supports to still go in to start that element. As you can see there's the water main they're working on. They're working on it in two areas on either end. So once they're finished that, they'll start vertical construction over here. Again, I think that's what's caused the slight delay over there. But that, again, is just based off of my observation of the construction site, and it may not be fact. So take that with a grain of salt. Over underneath the Fly's lift hill, you can see that little electrical utility that's been added, the little sewer, but it's not a sewer, it houses electrical. And yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've missed. Again, comment down below any really good questions you have for the park about Alpen Fury and its construction. And we'll get an answer for that. If I'm to talk about lockers, I think how lockers are going to work is a couple of the rides are switching to a locker system. And no bags will be allowed in the queue line like other Six Flags parks. And you'll only be able to, the bin systems will be used for cell phones in that, if I had to take a guess, or they'll have cell phone holders, similar to how Six Flags parks do it. But we'll ask the park tomorrow and get an answer for you. But yeah, I think that's essentially everything. Thank you so much for watching today's construction update. Oh, that's not it. I have to show you the track area. So over in Alpen Fury's track storage area, a lot of track is starting to get taken away. So it's starting to get, used, and the storage site is shrinking. You'll see in a second what I mean by that. So over here, you have the supports that'll house the main double inverting top hat. You have some of the storage track area. The catwalks are gone, and we're obviously waiting on more. You have the small little area in the top right corner that is going to start heading into the park, including those black pieces with the cardboard or the wood boxes protecting the LSMs. Those are going to be heading into the park. That's the next section they're working on. By current observations, again, that could change, like it has changed several times. And yeah, so definitely very excited to see the double inverted top hat go in. Wonderland is teased. It's going to be very shortly. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow for a construction tour. Have a good one. Bye.